All right, here we go. Pretty clear.
And do I take it from coming out?
Tonight we're shooting Neil Armstrong's descent down the ladder, trying to recreate the famous televised footage of him saying the famous line when he stepped on the moon for the first time.
Meeting. Mark.
20 seconds and counting.
We arranged it so that I was able to hear the original comms of Buzz talking to Neil or Mission Control, and we created spaces so that I could say the lines in between.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. I'm at the foot of the ladder. The surface appears almost like a powder.
Ready. Bring in the iPad for playback.
Yeah, great.
It's this iconic moment in history, and so we felt a lot of pressure to do it justice and to get the details right.
Keep an eye on your fuel. Continuous burn time is limited to 910.
Very surreal to be walking down the ladder, hearing those voices, saying those lines in the suit.
Okay, I just checked. Coming back up to that first step, Buzz. It's adequate to get back up.
Breathing the oxygen that the suit's providing. It's very hard to explain.
Apollo 11, Houston, we are go for undocking, over.
You saw firsthand how amazing it is that they pulled this off with the technology that they had.
The one real hiccup in the lunar descent were these computer alerts, these 1201 and 1202 computer alerts.
Program alarm.
What's a 1202 alarm?
The computers they had there obviously much less powerful than in your microwave, but that was how they got to the moon and back.
Altitude lights on. We don't have radar data.
They had left a switch on, a radar switch on, and it just overwhelmed the computer. They were descending from lunar orbit down to the surface, and...
Roger, we go on that alarm.
The alarms were blaring, and basically what people realized later was that the computers powering the LEM as it went in for landing just couldn't handle the amount of information.
Suddenly, their computer was not helpful in piloting them down to the surface. They had to do it manually. And then, of course, when they get closer to the surface, the landing area was much rougher terrain than they were expecting.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
We'd had the idea, instead of shooting the moon on a stage, to shoot outdoors and shoot at night.
Nathan creates this beautiful moon set, and the set is enormous.
This is my first time landing on the moon, so you always go, well, we need a cement works or a quarry. The quarry was the obvious one for the moon, but we need a great quarry, which is kind of rare. Locations actually found me a great quarry. Practical working quarries usually don't let you through the door. They were willing to sculpt the landscape to our direction to look like the moon.
Locations like that, part of the joy of getting to tell this story.
There was a lot of pressure to get that right.
And we're just trying to be as authentic as possible, but also trying to put a stamp on it that's unique to the movie.
We were shooting with lights that Linus, our cinematographer, had created to try and simulate sunlight. We were shooting with IMAX cameras.
We went through movies and photography from NASA, and the lenses we're using are actually the same lenses that they used on the moon when they took the still photos. We're using the same film stock to shoot the moon.
I was talking with astronauts who had walked on the moon, and they told me it was the most clear-eyed they had ever been in their lives. As though they'd just gotten a shot of adrenaline. It was like an awakened dream. They could hear everything better, they could see everything better, everything was crystal clear, and yet their heart was going a million miles a minute.
We don't want to use CG, and the lunar lander couldn't have stood by itself. It was built for moon's gravity.
The lunar module is incredibly flimsy piece of machinery. It's designed to be as light as possible.
But you sit with construction, you sit with my teams, and we figure out how to make it structurally sound and safe that someone can get into it and climb the ladder. There's so many logistical items, just even building something that size, trunking it, getting it into the quarry, standing it, making it wind resistant.
some ways, that sequence, because it was so well documented, there was a lot of material there to guide us and to refer to.
The natural challenges we've had is that it suddenly started to snow, and it's been very, very cold.
On this moon, it's quite cold. The real moon, it varies between super hot and super cold, so maybe a little hostility of the elements is appropriate. It's never about just the technicalities of it. It's all about making the audience feel something. That heightened level of consciousness. Because there is, in history, no more cosmic, grand, expansive adventure.